Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I am one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group along with several others that are focused on different destinations. And we are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner. And what that means is that we are trained directly by Disney, often on site, and we are recognized by them as being experts in their vacation products and also providing exceptional customer service to our clients. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're really excited to be here in our Disney World group tonight to talk about the Epcot Food and Wine Festival. This is my personal favorite festival that Epcot hosts every year. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the basics of it and also some of our favorite things. But we would also love to hear your thoughts on the Food and Wine Festival. If you have a favorite item or a favorite activity, or if you have any questions about it, we would love to take those. So we are using a platform called StreamYard to go live this evening, and StreamYard will ask you to approve it to display your username or profile picture. If you want to post a comment, just know that you can decline that permission and you can still post and interact with us anonymously that way. So I'm joined tonight by three of our marvelous agents. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us tonight. And if you would take just a couple of minutes to let everybody know your name, how long you've been with the agency, and the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in planning a trip.
Hi, I'm Kim Ellison. I'm in my sixth year with Marvelous Mouse Travel, and this is where you can reach me. This is my email. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but email me here and I'll get you hooked up.
Hey everyone, I'm Craig Engstrom. I am in my 7th year with Marvelous Mouse Travels, and right here is how you can get a hold of me anytime.
Hey everybody, I'm Katie Taylor, and I have also been with the Marvelous Mouse Travels for a little over 6 years now. If you need to get in touch with me, getting in touch with me via email is probably the best, and I am KDT@marvelousmousetravels.com.
And again, my name is Ginger. I am into my 4th year with Marvelous Mouse Travels, and the best way to get in touch with me is to visit my blog, which you can find at gingermmt.com. It has links to all of my socials, as well as different topics that I have written about over the years. So, Food and Wine Festival is one of those things that, like, if you've ever been to Disney, if you've ever been to Epcot in particular in like the fall season, if you mention food and wine, people that have done it are always like, oh, I love food and wine. But, it's kind of one of those things where if you have maybe you've never been to Disney or you've never been in that particular season of the year, you might be like, what is this thing? What is the hype with food and wine? And so for those people who maybe have never experienced it or who might be brand new to Disney World, let's just lay out for them what is the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
The Epcot Food and Wine Festival is a festival at Epcot, which we know. It is where you can visit 6 different continents and have the extra experience of food and beverages around the World Showcase.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Like, so it's basically like any food festival that you would attend, but because it is an Epcot, it does have kind of that, world flavor where you're getting to try things from literally all around the world. And we'll talk about some specifics a little bit later. But, I think another question that people maybe who are new to it is, when does this thing take place? Like, when do I have to be traveling in order to take advantage of this? So what are the dates of this festival, at least for this year? Because they do change a little bit from year to year.
Well, they did start already in July on the 14th, and it's going to run through November 19th. So there's lots of time in there for you to try this out.
And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the longest they've ever done the Food and Wine Festival. Is that correct?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I know last year's they started in July too, but I think they didn't start until maybe like late July. Right. So this one they're giving you, and I think it's because it is, a lot of people's favorite festival. And so they want to make sure you got a lot of time in there in order to experience it.
Well, if you like food, yes.
Yes, for sure. But who doesn't like food, right?
You don't like food, maybe not for you.
Yeah, maybe not. So I think another really common question that people have is, is there an added cost to this? Is this gonna, Disney's expensive. Is this gonna cost me a whole lot of extra money on top of what I'm paying for park admission?
Well, so the food that you have to pay for, it is separate, but to enter the festival and to go in, it is part of your park admission.
Yeah,
So you don't have to pay a set, it's not like a after hours kind of thing
right.
where you have to pay separate admission for it. So yes, there is kind of a cost, but it's kind of a expected cost because it's for you're paying for your food, so and your drinks and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and I mean, the pricing ranges from you can get things for $5 to you can get
mhm.
things up to I mean, I definitely don't think there's anything there that's more than $20 if there's even anything
Right.
that's at the $20 range. So you really have a lot of different options to try. What some people do, and I think this is a really smart idea, is they will purchase a gift card, like one of those little preloaded gift cards, and you can take that around, and that way you kind of have a budget for yourself. You're like, okay, like we're gonna spend this much money
Yeah.
and no more, and that's a cool way to do it. I know in the past when we've done food and wine, I've looked up the menus in advance because you can find those online at Disney's website. And I have kind of like made a game plan for what I wanted to try. And then I just like printed out a little card and put it in a lanyard and I wore that around. And I was like, oh, we're in Belgium. It's time to get, the waffles or whatever the case
Yeah,
might
the
be. So,
waffles.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Ginger, I think you bring up a really good point that I mean, just going to Epcot and experimenting with everything without knowing ahead of time what
Mhm.
you're doing is
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
But I think also plan if you're planning on using that as a food day, don't
Mhm.
make any reservations
Yeah.
because you're going to
No.
fill up by the time you try everything, and you may not think a specific country is going to have something you like, but I have yet to stop at one that I didn't like,
Mhm.
even if it was a food type that I wasn't that crazy about.
Yeah.
um, that was one thing. So I think that you can get by without planning, but I think that planning it is a
Mhm.
really is a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. And also
Mhm.
just to make sure everybody remembers, yes, this is included with your admission to Epcot, but if
Mhm.
you have to make sure you have a park pass for Epcot for that day if
Yes.
you have base tickets, or
Mhm.
you need to have park hopper tickets. If you've started in another
I do
park, you
too.
can kind of migrate over to Epcot as well. So with park pass reservations, it does require a little bit of extra planning that way. But that's something that your agent can walk you through all of how that stuff works. So, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is that part of Food and Wine is the Eat to the Beat concert series. And again, this is another just free part of this where you have the opportunity to, in the America Pavilion, to experience different artists who come, and that we have the schedule that we can show here, just different people who are going to be headlining on certain dates. And so, I'm a huge music fan. I come from a family of musicians. I'm a musician myself, and so this is something that I really like about this festival. And so I wanted to ask our agents: is there anyone on this list that you guys are particularly excited about having at Epcot?
Um, I am a boy band fanatic. I just saw New Kids on the Block when they were in Charlotte. So I'm excited about like people they've toured with. You would not believe this, but Tiffany has a really good voice still.
Mhm.
Like she was impressive and Boys to Men. But Jimmy Allen is wonderful for country, and Jeremy Camp is a good Christian singer. So there's a little bit of everything for anybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was looking through that list as well, and it was kind of a throwback because like Air Supply was in, we had 38 Special was there, and
Yep.
of
Yeah.
course Kenny G.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But I have to tell you, if you are there September 25th and 26th, Postmodern Jukebox, if you have never heard of them, they are absolutely amazing. They take more of our current tunes and they make them into old jazz
Oh wow.
type
Oh
music.
wow.
They
Mm.
are amazing. I get chills whenever I think we just saw them this winter, and I couldn't believe it. And I had never heard of them, and I got them as a gift for Christmas before COVID. And
Mhm.
so they, wait. And I went, I was like, oh, I wonder what this is going to be like. It was one of the most amazing concerts I have ever seen.
Wow.
Awesome.
And so don't miss it. And if you can't see it
Awesome.
there, you got to find them somewhere because they're just crazy good.
That's one I didn't know, so that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
I'll look
Yeah,
them up
that's
when
so
I go.
good.
And I'm really excited because I'm actually going to be there for August the 14th for Christopher Cross. I'm actually taking my dad down there to see him in concert because that was one of my dad's favorite singers when I was growing up. That was one of his favorite singers. So I'm actually going to
That'll
take
be
him
fun.
to Disney for the
That's
weekend, and we're going to go hang out and listen to Christopher Cross. And so since I was kind of researching like food and stuff, because it is the Food and Wine Festival, my dad loves ribs, and so we thought we would go to the Regal
Regal
Smokehouse.
Eagle.
The
Oh,
Regal Eagle
Regal
Smokehouse.
Eagle.
I love that place.
Because did you know that if you go and walk up and get a reservation, you can get reserved seating at the concert? I did not know this.
Yeah.
And it's my dad's favorite meal. So I'm going to try and do that when I get there. So we can kind of have like reserved seating. So I'm actually, this is kind of shocking, but I'm actually going to go live and we're actually going to sing Sailing Together
Please do.
live,
Nice.
which is really scary because I don't have a singing voice at all, but I'm going to do it anyway with my dad because it's
There
with
you
my
go.
dad. So
Hey.
there you go.
Life is too short to
Too
worry about
short,
things
too
like
short.
Yeah.
That is,
I love it. You know, we sat in the picnic tables right outside of Regal Eagle, and we went at Christmas time and we listened to the Voices of Liberty
Oh,
in the American Pavilion. That was the most magical experience. And like,
yes.
we didn't plan that at all. Like, we just wanted to grab some lunch, but it just happened to coincide with their showtime. And I was like, this could not have worked better, you know, if I had spent hours planning that. It was really cool to do that.
It's funny how
Oh, go ahead.
It's funny how you do stuff like that, and it's like a tip that you can give your clients now. You can be like, at this be here at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, Katie, can you explain that reserve seating thing one more time? Because that's new to me.
Yeah. So there's certain table service restaurants, like I think it's the Coral Reef. And I can't
select others too.
Yeah, there's
a list.
Rose and Crown maybe,
Yes.
and then there's like another one, Beer Garden maybe.
I think so.
And you can do it through the table service, but they also have the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, and then there was one more walk up like quick service place that you can go and get reservations. But it's a walk up. You have to go and get the reservations on that day.
Right.
So for you to get the reserved seating. So that's what I'm going to try to do when we get there at Epcot that day, is like, that's my number one thing. Cause I want to have a place to sit for him to have his ribs, and then a place for him to sit and listen to Christopher Cross.
Yes.
I love it.
You know? So yeah. So
That's
like my number one thing. So so I guess going back to the planning thing, depending on who you go with, you may have to plan it out a little bit more than just kind of fly by the seat of your pants.
Right.
If you're doing a couples trip, it may be that y'all just go and do your stuff, and just pick whatever you want. Right. But it just depends. If you've got kids and you got to plan around them, so you got some planning. So it just depends on who's going.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I am really excited to see. We love the Newsboys, who are going to be there on October 16th and 17th. That was actually the first concert that my 10-year-old ever went to, was a Newsboys concert. And that's special to us because that particular concert, it wasn't at Epcot, but there was a, emphasis on sponsoring children. And so through that concert, we actually have, a little boy around the world that we sponsor. And so they kind of have like a special place in my heart for that reason. They are a contemporary Christian group. But also this is a little bit more of a nostalgia thing. I loved Hanson when I was in middle school. Loved Hanson. And so, they're all like, middle-aged parents like I am now, but I would still love to go see Hanson just for old time's sake, and listen to some Mbop.
They have like 20 kids between them. Did you know that?
Yes,
it's crazy.
It is prolific. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, braver people than me.
No, thank you.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
couldn't do it.
we have we went to a concert in Charlotte and did the same thing, and we have a boy that we sponsor.
Mhm.
So I love that, the connection,
Mhm.
and they'll my kids that was my kid's first concert, and
Oh,
they'll
that's cool.
always remember that,
Yeah.
artist and that experience too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things I love about, Disney and these festivals and things, they do kind of create opportunities for you to have those little extra experiences or to, to revisit the nostalgic thing like the Hanson or whatever, or to experience a new, like Craig was talking about, some of it you have no clue who that is, but it ends up being, the neatest opportunity for you
Right.
to try something new. So I love about it. So let's move on to probably what most people want to really hear about when it comes to the Food and Wine Festival. And that are what are some of your, like what you think are the best food and beverage items that you have tried either at this festival this year or at previous year's festivals. So, because lots of times the food, the really popular items will be repeat items. They'll be there every year. Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. I had to write it down because I had so many favorites, actually.
I did too.
So in Belgium, they have this beer braised beef with smoked Gouda mashed potatoes.
Sounds really good.
That's one. And you can't go wrong with Canada. I don't care what you eat there; it's just amazing. But they have a wild mushroom beef fillet with truffle butter sauce, and then what's the other one that I really? Baked shrimp dip with shrimp and scallops with a baguette at Coastal Eats.
Yes.
Those were the go-tos that I
Those
love.
all sound really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry right now, actually.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I know. I ate dinner beforehand just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cauliflower rice I had for dinner and sticking with me.
Go low carbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't tell you what I had. I went last year. We were there for the conference, and we scooted over there after our training, some MMT agents. And I met a friend who works for Disney. He's in like 30 years with Disney.
Wow.
And Craig, he said that steak was probably better than Le Cellier. So he was like, he was very impressed. He was like, he had in his sights and he was going straight there, and that was one of his favorites, and he was like, it was probably better. And the soup, I think, that you can get there.
Yeah.
That's on my list. I love that soup. It's so
yes. So last year we did lobster. So we did everything lobster. They had a lobster booth last year, and we had lobster tail and lobster bisque, and I'm a seafood person, so that Coastal place Craig mentioned earlier, what sounds like up my alley, but we walked in, and I'm usually a Mexico person, but we did Canada, and I always felt a little weird, but we did Canada first. Exactly. And they
my eye is twitching knowing that you are
exactly like we're supposed to be that way. But they had a mimosa flight last year. And it was just, and I saw that this year they have a French fry flight that looks amazing, and like Western with barbecue sauce fries, and your other kinds of fries that they have but I enjoyed the flight. It was nice because they were little, so you were fine after you drank them. But I also had an agent. It's really funny. She was streamlined like my friend, and she went straight to America and got the American funnel cake. That was what, and I was like, she was like, funnel cake, and I'm going there, and she passed everything else, and it was like, I was like, you are Sarah, you are, so.
That's
but
right.
I have my favorites at Epcot, so I had to save a little money for the my all-time favorites that are there all the time. But I could have spent money. I like the idea of the gift card for sure.
Yeah.
So y'all said all of my favorites. So I don't really have anything to add. Last year they had at the Italy, they had the oh gosh, like fried ravioli, which was like,
Yes.
I bet that they didn't call it that, but that's what it reminded me
Yeah.
of. And it was so good. It was
Yeah.
so delicious. I don't know if they're going to have that one this year, but I have it down that apparently in I think, oh, Mexico, it takes two to mango margarita. That's the one I'm going to go get. It sounds really, really good.
So I have a list of 5 items. I told y'all I love food and wine. One of them is what I think Craig already mentioned, the at the Canada booth, the Canadian cheddar and bacon soup. It is served with a pretzel roll. It is, I believe, $5.75 is the cost of that one. It's so delicious. And it's like you would think, okay, cheddar bacon soup. What's the big deal? It's a big deal. Like I don't really know how else to say it, but it's the same soup that they serve in Le Cellier, which is a signature restaurant in the Canada Pavilion. You know, it's a steakhouse. But this soup is just, it's so good. And I love soup. Like, I don't care if it's 95 degrees outside, I would still eat soup. I love it. From the China booth, they have a pan fried chicken dumpling with a house made sweet and spicy sauce. That one is $5. It's really good. They've had that the past several years in a row because it's a favorite. I get it every time. I love it. In Germany, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. It's the Schneckennoodle. No, I didn't say that right. But it's like pasta gratin. So it's basically pasta. I mean, it's mac and cheese, kind of baked mac and cheese, but it has ham and onions in it. And it's killer. It's really good. It's $5. From Japan, there's a teriyaki like bao bun, chicken bao bun, and that one is $7.50. It's a little bit more, but it's delicious. It's worth it. And then at the America booth, which is called Hops and Barley, they have a freshly baked carrot cake. They serve it warm with melted cream cheese icing over it. And it's the most
That's
like
good.
moist, delicious cake. It's
wow.
really, really good. And that one is $4.50. So it's a little bit less. But they're all really, really good. Yeah. So those are my favorites. I think,
I'm hungry.
yeah, I know, right? I think we have had a couple of comments and questions come through. So let's take a look at those as we're starting to wrap it up a little bit. Oh, that's a great question. What's the best way to avoid crowds during food and wine? I would say try not to go on a weekend.
Yes.
Would probably be
I was
my,
just thinking,
yeah.
yeah, go during the week if you can.
Yes.
And go a little earlier. And start at lunch instead of at dinner. Because
Yeah.
I noticed when I would go
great
around at
tip.
lunch, it was a little bit lighter
Yeah.
because people were still riding rides.
Yeah.
So that might be a little help.
Yeah. That's a
crowded.
really great tip. And I would say too, I think another, good thing is to maybe do your research in advance. Again, you can find all the menus for all the booths on Disney's website. And if you're working with one of our agents, your agent can point you in the right direction as to how to find that. But, I think lots of people tend to stop at the booths that are like maybe right at the beginning or right at the end or something like that. And so maybe try to hit the ones in the middle that are a little bit more off the beaten path. And maybe, hopefully your lines aren't going to be quite as long if you go about it that way.
There's also to help you. There is a booklet that has all of the booths in there, everything that they have. So that would, there we go. That'll help you plan better so that you are, a little bit more have a direction.
Yeah. And you can grab those, as you're walking into the park, either entrance, whether you're coming in the front entrance or the back entrance, they'll have them right there for you.
And that goes back to the planning. You can scan and definitely.
Absolutely. Leave for Disney on Saturday. Ooh, can't wait to try all the yummy food and drinks. You're going to have a blast. Not just at Epcot, but every Disney park, the resorts, Disney Springs, they all have fun things to try. So my kids, it's really funny. They have a scale, like a rank order scale of all the different mac and cheese from the table service restaurants, the quick, and they rank them. And as of right now, Ale and Compass at the Yacht Club number one on their mac
Okay.
and
Good
to
cheese
know.
rankings.
Good to know for
Yes,
mac and cheese.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do too.
My
Yep.
favorite.
Yes, we do.
Followed, I'd say, closely by the Flower and Garden Festival.
Yes.
I like that one a lot too.
Uh,
That was in the spring. Yeah. Oh, this was about the gift card, I think. The preloaded
Mhm.
gift card. Yeah, and at the little festival booths, they even sell the ones that are like wristlets. So you can just pop it around your wrist and walk around, and it's easily accessible.
Nice.
So I think this is in reference to the concert. Yeah, so many good names.
Mhm.
Yes, they have a great lineup this year.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes.
really good lineup.
I agree.
Making up for lost time because they didn't do it
I'm too.
last year. Oh, there you go, Katie.
Take it away.
I'm so excited.
Oh, that's right.
Y'all-
I always forget. Craig is our musician here. He can sing it for us.
Oh, there you go.
Cost you too much. Talk to your travel agent.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
they're so
They are
good.
phenomenal. Do you know that some of those singers were the ones for the Wish for the
Really?
ceremony? Yeah,
I did
that
not
was
know
some
that.
of them.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody
Wow.
told me that. It's like,
That's
oh,
good
did
to
you
know.
know? And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get on that ship.
I can't
If you
either.
don't follow our main agency page, the Marvelous Mouse Travels page, go over there and follow that right now because there's so much great content there from the Wish, the inaugural sailing and the media preview sailing. It's like a floating castle. It's beautiful. I can't wait to sail on it.
Yeah, watching all the work that we've been doing for that, I'm a little jealous. Just not quite sure when it's going to happen for me.
Yeah,
to go on that ship.
understood.
Someday.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll happen.
I had a client who said she was selling her condo and moving into the dream suite, the one with the slide.
The tower.
I was like, "Can I come visit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I come
That's
visit?"
too funny.
I wanted to say, can I say one thing about food and wine?
Yes.
Usually I have a lot of people that of my clients are like, do we even take kids? And I have, I read that this year they actually have kid activities like seek and finds going on.
Yes.
So they have one for fall.
Mhm.
It's called Pluto's Pumpkins Pursuits,
Mhm.
where you find the characters dressed in Halloween costumes
Mhm.
or decor. And right now it's Ratatouille's scavenger
Yes.
hunt over the new
Find Remy.
Ratatouille ride.
Mhm.
Yep. Right. So I do send a lot of clients who are just couples, and I understand that. But if you have to take the entire family, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Mhm.
kids love that. It's like an annual tradition. They look
Mhm.
forward to it every year. Finding Remy. And you get a little prize when you do it successfully. Like last time we did the one for Flower and Garden, it was like a little sandwich holder, like to put in their lunchbox. It's super practical and functional, but it was cute. So yeah.
Cool.
I need to come with you guys next time. Oh, come on. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tomorrow.
Book a flight. Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure. I love a French fry. I'm not supposed to eat them because I'm diabetic, but I can cheat for a French fry flat. It's okay.
If you're gonna cheat, this is the place to cheat.
This is the
That's
place
right.
to do it. Yep. Sign me up. Yes, for sure. Let's see here. Leave for Disney on Tuesday. Can't wait to try I think that means gluten-free foods. My daughter loves the mac and cheese. Yes.
Mhm.
So if you have food allergies or sensitivities or anything
Mhm.
like that, definitely make sure you speak with, the cast members there. They're really great at being trained on, they have an allergy menu that you can look at and they have, they're really good at dealing with that. And if you, are concerned and you want to talk to somebody in advance, again, if you're working with one of our agents, they can kind of walk you through that process of how to contact who you need to contact. But Disney is really good I have food allergies and food sensitivities myself. And, they've always been really great about working with me on that too. Yes. I think that's a general consensus. I know. Two of my friends have now been on it, trying real hard not to be jealous of them. Hi. Where's the best mac and cheese? Okay, so my kids say again, this is their rank order. They say it's at Cinderella's Royal Table. That's the best mac and cheese.
Okay.
I can tell you it's for sure the most expensive mac and cheese at Magic Kingdom. But it's also you're eating in the castle, like it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Location.
That's right. That's so true. All right. I think that's all of our questions and comments. So thank you all agents for being here with us tonight. And thank you to everybody that watched with us along at home and to commented. Oh, hold on. We just saw, I don't want best mac and cheese quick service. Okay. So my kids, again, this is their rank order, say that the best quick service mac and cheese is over at Gasparilla Grill at the Grand
Yes.
Floridian.
Yes, my kids would agree with that
Yes.
100%. They
It's very
ate, I
good.
think they ate it 4 times when we
Yeah.
were there in 4 days.
And they
So-
have
That's
really
good to
good
know.
house-made chips there too. They're really, really good. So yeah, that would be what
Yep.
my kids would say, and Katie's too, apparently.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. But thank you to all of y'all who watched with us tonight and who commented and asked questions. We always really appreciate that. If you stumble across this video, oh good, that works out
Oh,
really
good.
well. Yeah,
There you go.
super convenient. I love that resort, by the way. That's probably my, I don't know, it's in my top 5 for sure. It's like that or Yacht Club. That's a hard decision to make. But if you happen to stumble across this video and we're no longer live and you still have questions or anything like that, we do still monitor these videos after they're no longer live. So feel free, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, to still go ahead and pop those comments in there, and we will come back and address those for you. And keep in mind too that it is no extra cost to you to book your vacation through one of our agents. You're going to pay the same exact price to book through one of us as you would pay to book directly on Disney's website. You're going to have the same deposit schedule, same final payment schedule, same terms and conditions. So everything is the same, except for the fact that you get added, concierge level vacation planning services completely free of charge when you book with one of our agents. So if you missed our contact information, all of that is back at the beginning of the video. But we thank you again so much for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Sundays with MMT. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.